Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. Today is Monday. Happy Monday, everybody, February 15th, and it's currently 10:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, we always go live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk all things network marketing, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. As you know, we have important subjects each and every day. Today's subject is sponsor 100 people. How and why do you want to do that? How do you sponsor 100 people? Why do you sponsor 100 people? Do you personally sponsor 100 people? We're going to answer all those questions and much more as we take a deep dive into this all-important subject. If you don't understand the importance of the number 100, then you certainly do not want to miss this episode. Marie and I are going to talk about these unique and special and secretive, for the most part, business building tactics. This is one of them. Why is the number 100 so important to you and your success? Once again, join us today at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to find that out and more. If you will, please hashtag the MLM Solution, hashtag the MLM Solution. Share that with our fellow network marketers across the globe so they can have access to this wonderful information as well. Be a positive force on this earth by exposing them to this information. You never know when it may change their life. We'll see you in just a few.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Miss Marie. Good morning.
It's Good morning. Happy Monday to you.
Happy Monday, 15th of February, Miss Marie. We're over halfway through this month. As you know, weather here in Kentucky is a big issue today. Tons of snow, unlike what we've had in a long time. And you were telling me you had a friend in Cincinnati who's going through the same thing.
Yep.
So it's a storm that's hitting everybody.
Lucky. I want some of that snow back here. Send it back west.
Well, it looks like it's going to be the first big snow we've had since 97 or 98. I can't remember. I wasn't here. Well, maybe I was. I can't remember, Miss Marie. I retired in 97, but that was so long ago, I can't remember. But it was 97 or 98. I can't remember. Where we had 22 inches.
Wow.
That's a lot. That's a lot of snow.
That's a good snow, in my opinion. You get a good 2 to 3 foot dump all at once. That's awesome.
I know it. I was telling the wife, we won't drag this out. We got to get to the subject. Important subject today. Let me talk about the subject before we get started. Everybody on the podcast, this is podcast number 130, sponsoring 100 people. How do you do that? Why do you do that? Why is the number 100 so important? Guys, we're going to talk about that and more as we take a deep dive into this all-important subject. If you don't know what we're talking about, you do not want to miss this whole episode. With that being said, I was telling the wife earlier, yesterday, I think it was, when I was a kid, about 5 or 6 years old, I remember it like yesterday. I remember my dad opening up our front door, and all you saw was a wall of snow. From the porch, we had an awning over top, in a metal awning, and it covered the whole porch, and it had those metal posts that hold the awning up. And it was total snow from top to bottom. When you opened up the front door, that's all it was. I remember that like yesterday because my dad opened the door and he goes, "Oh, shit." And Miss Marie, not only was it that tall, he had to dig a tunnel out. He literally dug a tunnel to get out and go down the sidewalk. And I remember as kids walked through, we thought that was the coolest thing in the world. That's how much freaking snow. Now, it wasn't that it dumped 6 foot of snow at one time. That's not it, Miss Marie. It was the wind and everything. Mm-hmm. And the wind had blown up and it built up.
You get the snow drifts.
Yes. Yep. Yes. It was huge. I'll never forget it. And there was so much snow. We went out there with my dad and we built igloos and actually crawled inside, had the little entry and then the big dome. and we built it first, and then we went in with clothes hangers, metal ones, and carved out the inside. And us kids went in there and played with it. And we built these big snow forts. They were probably about 3.5, 4 foot tall, and these big snow forts that were in a half U shape. And we built all of these snowballs. And me and my brother and sister had a snowball fight with my dad, who was about 20 feet away. That's how much snow was on the ground. We built all that plus a snowman. So there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was. It was awesome, man. All right, Miss Marie, we got an important subject today. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Did you?
Had a great weekend, Valentine's weekend, celebrated with some friends, had some fun.
That's
absolutely.
Good.
Yep.
No snow.
Well, we did get a little bit of snow Saturday night into Sunday, so
we've
got more coming this week. I'm just not sure how much we're supposed to get, but in my opinion, it's never enough. So
yes, I agree. Do you snow ski?
I used to. I don't anymore.
Okay. All right. Well, we know my story, and I'll leave it at that. And yes, folks, we're both wearing yellow. We did not know that. Believe me, when we got on, we were like, "Oh crap, we did it again." I was actually wearing glasses like hers, guys. So let me show you. I was getting ready to put these on until I saw her. Look how much we look alike, brother and sister. I was like, "No, I ain't doing that." So off those went. People say, "Well, why did you wear so many glasses?" I'll be honest with Miss Marie. As you know, look, I'm always changing. Am I not?
You have your little alterations that you do. I'm usually pretty consistent. I look pretty much the same all the time.
I change my hair. I'll grow it long, and then I'll cut it, and I'll do this, and I change. I'm always changing. I do not like status quo. Never have in anything. So I've got to be moving forward. If I don't, Miss Marie, I'm like, oh my gosh. I guess that's my OCD type trait. I guess I don't necessarily get into that stuff, but I'm saying if I have OCD, that would be mine. I just can't stand that. Anyway, all right. With that being said, guys, we all had a great weekend. We hope you had a wonderful, safe weekend. Here we are again talking about all things network marketing. As we tell you all the time, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly. We'll talk about things that no one else will talk about. So today's subject, podcast number 130, quickly approaching that 200. And and the thing is that we have a subject that's very important to your success. It's actually vitally important. This is one of those vital or critical bits of information that you need to know because it is absolutely essential to your success. It's not, it's nice if you do it. No, if you want to be successful, right, Miss Marie? I cannot imagine. Now, really, we should be talking to. I guess we should be, well, you and I talk to everybody the same way. We don't try to separate people because we teach people to go for the gusto, shoot for the stars, whatever the case may be, because Miss Marie, they determine whether they want to stop short. So we always preach 100 people. We never waver on that. And that's the right approach to take. Okay. And guys, I'm telling you, it sounds like a lot. And we're not talking about you personally sponsoring 100 people. We have an example of that here in a moment. Okay. But you can sponsor 100 people. I've known people that have sponsored 250 or 225. I can't remember. I think I've known people to sponsor 300, if I'm not mistaken. Miss Marie, have you ever known anybody like that?
Oh, yeah. There are people who are recruiting machines. Yeah. They bring in people left and right. Absolutely. Yeah. And actually, as you get into the swing of things, and if you're being consistent with your business and you're doing those correct business building activities, over time, it's not an impossible thing to do. Oh, no. But the idea of sponsoring 100 people for somebody coming into the industry new or someone who's only been in for a little while, it's absolutely daunting. Because when you look at the statistics in the network marketing industry, the average person sponsors 2.3 people. And that's nowhere near that 100 mark, right? No. So we should probably back up just a second here and kind of talk about where that 100 people comes from. One of the things we've talked about in several of our episodes, and that's why we kind of pulled this out as its own particular topic, is the fact that you want to get your business to 10,000 group volume as quickly as possible. Now, if you've done your research going into your network marketing company, you should have looked into the compensation plan and figured out what kind of check 10,000 group volume is going to pay you, however often that gets paid out. That should be a pretty good check. It should be, for most people, pretty life-altering. It could be close to replacing your regular income. And that's kind of what we're looking for. So we always talk about that 10,000 group volume as the goal. And the other thing we talk about is, as you're bringing people into your business, those business builders who want to build along with you, you want to make sure all your folks are on auto ship and they're at that 100 personal volume level. So this is where the calculation comes in. If you have 100 personal volume on your auto ship and you have 100 people in your organization doing that 100 personal volume, 100 times 100 is 10,000. That gets you to that 10,000 group volume mark.
Right.
Now, as Rob mentioned, of course, the idea of going out and sponsoring 100 people is really daunting, especially when the industry average is 2.3, right? Your average business builder that you're going to sign up, and remember, it's a game about numbers. So, you're going to have your true business builders who are really going to be productive and be your leaders in your organization. But the vast majority of the people who come in saying they want to build a business probably aren't going to build that large of a business. But that doesn't mean you are responsible for going out and finding those 100 people to sponsor in order to get to that 10,000 group volume level. That's going to be a team effort within your organization. And that's where the 5 simple steps come into play. You want that proven system that you can duplicate and train your people to do so they're following the same path and they have the better possibility of, first of all, sponsoring business partners to help grow their business and developing the leaders that they need to do that. So as that replicates throughout your organization, that's where those 100 people come into play. You may personally sponsor 10 to 20 people. I mean, maybe your 90-day goal was to sponsor 30 people, let's say, and you came up a little bit short and you only sponsored 20. Well, out of those 20 people you've sponsored, they're starting to build their business. If they each sponsor the industry average of, let's call it 2, because there's not, I've never seen 0.3 of a person walking around the planet. I don't know about anybody else, but that doesn't work. Maybe a newborn counts as a 0.3, but you can't sign them up in your business. You have to be at least 18, right? Legal age. So let's say each of the 20 people you bring into your business are doing the industry average of 2. Well, that's 40 additional people coming into your business. But then out of those 20, you're going to have 2, maybe 3 people, that are really going to take off and build the business large, and they will sponsor more people. So it's within your entire organization that you're shooting for that 100 people, doing an auto ship with the 100 personal volume to get you to that 10,000 group volume level. That's right. So that's really what we wanted to focus on here today. Is that's why you want to sponsor those 100 people.
That's right.
Did I miss anything?
No, you did a wonderful job. You hit so many important subjects. I'm going to try and highlight and summarize some of those things that you talked about because you nailed it in every facet. Guys, let me say this. If you get on a roll, before I do highlight what she talked about, if you get on a roll recruiting wise, do not stop. And here's what I mean. You can have a number down, like she said. I always use the number 60 people in 90 days. Now, that's a very realistic thing, okay? And you say, Rob, that's unbelievable because she just said 2.3 is the average. Yes, it is. But if you're an average person, then you're going to get 2.3. But if you use the 5 simple steps and use the music to the ears message, and you do the duplication, in other words, the threshold of profitability, scale of ambition, blah, 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 you'll make this business building process much easier on yourself, and it won't seem like such a daunting task. Now, what I'm saying is, you get on a roll. your first 30 days, it may take you a while to get your feet under you. Some people only take 2 weeks. Some people only take 10 days. Some people come in as a natural and go in and start tearing it up from the beginning. You can't compare yourself to those people. What you have to do is live your own life and do your own pace and put in the hours and make sure they're quality hours into your business and let the chips fall where they may. Now, here's the point. Regardless of how long it takes, 2 weeks, a month, 6 weeks, whatever, you get into a groove, a sponsoring groove, do not stop. Do not stop. If there's one thing that will slow down your growth is you stopping the momentum. And you might be saying, well, Rob, I listen to your podcast. You always talk about business momentum, but you never talked about sponsoring momentum. One is equal to the other. Okay, period. You can't have business growth without sponsoring growth. All right, that's the bottom line. And I'm not talking about just you. I'm talking about your downline. But the pace starts with you. We're always talking about pace, speed, and urgency, all that. I'm not going to get into that. But that goes hand in hand. What I'm saying is, once you get in a groove, as Miss Marie just said, you know what? It's like anything else. Once you get comfortable and you get the music to the ears message down, you own that message, you're hitting the nail on the head, you're sponsoring and talking to high quality people. Guys, the sponsoring process will actually become fun. And when you get on a roll, if you reach those 60 people in 90 days, I would encourage you, or before the 90 days, let's say you get 60 people in 75 days. All right, guys, I'm telling you, do not stop. Okay, if you hit 60, keep rolling. Do not stop. Okay, because phase 2 is quickly coming up on you after the 90-day mini blast. Now, we told you can go past 90 days. You can go 95 days if you want, but you do not want to ignore your leaders. Phase 2 is important to your growth more than you realize, because leaders will get pissed off if you're not there to support them. Point being, if you, in part of the way you're supporting them, Miss Marie, which we haven't talked about before, but we need to highlight, guys, you being active is as much support to your leaders as anything. But you're going to have some leaders who are going to want to do Zoom calls, conference calls, 3-ways, live events, okay? And that's how you support your leaders. They don't want you to cuddle them. They don't want you to do things for them. They're doing the work. They just want you to be there when they need you, okay? It's hard to continue to recruit and build a business, work with your leaders while you're trying to build a business at the same time. And if you're sponsoring people, you're building, okay? So it is almost an impossible task. You might be superhuman. You might be one of the few that can pull it off. If you don't have a lot of leaders that are demanding your time, doing live events, Zoom calls, 3-ways, etc., then maybe you still have time to, to keep sponsoring people. That's a call you have to make. Miss Marie and I have to cut it off somewhere and say you should stop here. Doesn't mean that it's an ironclad rule that applies to each and every situation. So now that that's out of the way, she said some very important things there. Look, you can't let the 2.3 number average affect you. Just totally ignore that. Okay, that is a number that's taken out of the masses of network marketing, and that's a number that's been around for X amount of years. That didn't stop her. That didn't stop me. Okay, you keep going, and I'm telling you, this thing will work. Now, do you have to sponsor 100 people personally yourself? No, she got right to that and talked about that. Let me show you an example that her and I uploaded just before the show. Guys, here in the red, if you see the person at the top there, that is you. And down below is your growing downline. The 3 people directly underneath you that are red as well, those are people that you've personally sponsored. But these other people who are leaders, if you notice, there's a brown set of leaders and then there's a white set of leaders. They're different colors at different levels. Okay? Guess what? These are people that are 5 and above on the scale of ambition. These are people that are doing 100 PV per month auto ship. These are people that are actively building the business at different levels. In other words, some people are doing $1,000 a month, some people doing $800 a month. Believe me, those are leaders. They're not big leaders yet, but they're showing their wear by the results they're getting. Okay. And the point is that you can notice that you have leaders in your business here, but you only sponsored those 3 people. And everybody else that you see, the people in the brown line, that's just the first level is you. The second level is the 3 red people. Okay. The third level is the brown people. And the fourth level is the white people. Okay. Now, some companies will do it different where the first level is the 3 red people. It doesn't matter. The bottom line is you get the point I'm making. The thing is that you can see in this illustration that you only sponsored 3 people so far. And that's what she hit on. Okay. She talked about how that would work. But you'll have 2 or 3 people out of 20 that will bring other people in. And next thing you know, you got 40 people doing 100 PV per month. Okay, so that means you got 4,000 PV. 40 times 100 is 4,000. You're well on your way to the 10,000 group volume that she talked about. That could be life-changing for many of you. Okay, so the thing is, this works. Yes, it's easy to use an illustration and say, oh, it's so easy. Look at how, you know what? We understand it's hard work. We get it. But here's the thing, guys. It gets easier. And as it gets easier, when you get on a roll, do not slow down. She talked about duplication. There's good and there's bad duplication. We just did a show on that, I think last week or the week before, Miss Marie. Wasn't long ago. And guys, we talked about how critically important it is to get your people off on the right step. If you're following the 5 simple steps, I'm telling you, you can't go wrong. You're going to get good duplication. In other words, you're going to get your people off on the right step. They're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to be positive steps, proven steps, and they're going to produce the results that you need. But you're going to have people that are going to try to cut corners, et cetera, et cetera. That's just part of the game. But the duplication process, there's good and bad. If they don't get off on the right step and they decide to defer off of the track, if you will, guess what? It's going to have a negative impact, not only on their business, but their downlines as well, and it's going to show up in your back office. So we did a show on that a while back. We're not going to get into that. But her point is well taken. You will eventually get those people. You just got to get in the groove and sponsoring, keep your head down, go towards your 90-day goals, and guys, you'll be amazed what will happen. You'll be amazed at what will happen. And Miss Marie, as I summarize this real quick, if I missed something, we need to go back and clarify it. But here's the thing. When you set the pace yourself, that is more powerful than anything that you and I could tell people, because your actions are going to speak much louder than the words. People have a tendency to see success of others, and they'll say, Marie, what are you doing? How are you getting those results? Without Rob being around. And Marie say, well, I'm just doing what Rob taught us. You know, what do you mean? And Miss Marie repeats the steps of the 5 simple steps and the 100 PV, et cetera, threshold profitability. And they'd be like, really? That's all you're doing? She goes, yeah. You know, why would I deviate from that? And those people will go away and totally say, I screwed up, without Rob ever saying a word. Okay? Why? Because they see the results Marie is getting. Her actions are speaking louder than the words. And the words that she spoke, because the results that she has gotten, the words that she spoke carried more weight than Rob's. Why? Because Rob is the leader. Rob is supposed to say. It's just like listening to your parents. Sometimes you listen to your aunt more than you do your mom. Okay? Sometimes your aunt's words carry more weight, and all of a sudden a light comes on. And your mom's been telling you that for years. And your mom's like, you know, that's what happens here. So the thing is, you'd be amazed how this will explode, and you didn't have to sponsor 100 people. So, Miss Marie, did I do that well?
Yeah, I think that was a great summarization and recap of exactly, you know, why you want to have at least 100 people sponsored in your organization, because that drives the volume, which translates to the amount you get paid on your check, right?
That's right.
So that's what we're after, is that next level of income. And as long as you're in a solid network marketing company with a good compensation plan, that 10,000 group volume level, it usually equates to a pretty decent sized check.
That's right. Now, let me say this, guys. Your number one goal should be having 100 people regardless. Let's say you have 500 people in your growing business. Your business is growing, and it has 500 people in it. Okay, let's say you have sponsored 30 people, and those 30 people have helped you build an organization of 500. In other words, your whole group's 500 people. Out of the 500, you have 75 people doing 100 PV. Okay, that's 7,500 PV. All right, that means you're just 2,500 PV away from 10,000. All right, and you say, well, Rob, why is that 10,000 number so important to you? Number one, let's make sure you understand those 75 people came out of your downline. You did not sponsor those 75 people. And what you need is 100 people in your whole group. Out of those 500 people, you just need 100 people doing 100 PV consistently per month. Okay. And Miss Marie, I would say, based on the numbers of network marketing, that if you sponsored if you had 500 people in your downline, okay, a third is going to take place. A third are going to do it now, a third will do it later, blah, blah, blah. Guys, if you have 500 people in your downline, there is a great chance 30% of 500 is 150. And that means that 150 people theoretically should be doing 100 PV per month or more. Okay. But let's be realistic. That's the reason why I cut it down to 75. Okay. Let's be realistic, because the chances of you having 150 on the nodes doing 100 PV per month is going to be really stretching it. But you could have 75 people doing 100 PV per month or more, and then you're going to have a bunch of people doing 65, 35, 45, 75. You're going to have people doing volume all over the places, okay? Because some people can't afford to do 100 PV per month right away, okay? But they're committed to the business, and they'll raise that 75 or 65 PV per month up to 100 as soon as they can. And you can't worry about that. Remember, a third will do it now, a third will do it later, and a third will never do it, okay? And as long as you know those numbers, you just put your head down, you keep moving forward, because you know that a third are going to do it right now. That's your 75 people that are on 100 PV per month right now. And then the people that are doing 65, 75, 55 PV, that's your second third. And they'll come around, those that want this business, when they can afford to do it, or when their belief level in themselves or their business or this business model goes up, right, Miss Marie? Sometimes it's just a belief thing, all right? And sometimes they got a spouse holding them back. Whatever the case may be, you just keep going forward. Now, you say, okay, well, what's important about that, guys? 100 times 110,000, as she stated, guys, for some of you, that's life-changing. And that puts you at the doorstep to decide whether you want to do this full-time or whether you want to have 1 foot in your job and 1 foot in a part-time basis. Because, Miss Marie, you get to the point at 10,000 group volume, you really have to make a choice. Because your business is starting to get so big, volume-wise and money-wise, that it puts you on the spot. And it's a threshold moment, and you have to make a decision. It's because you're either going to lose that momentum, Miss Marie, because you're not at the point where it's going to be an autopilot. You know that. It's not enough numbers. It's not enough money. There's not enough momentum to walk away from your business and keep it at that level. It still takes work. And what I'm saying, guys, if you're at that level of 10,000 group volume, it's going to require maintenance. Meaning that if you're holding down a job, you're still going to have to put in 3 to 4 hours a night, almost every night. Okay. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to do that for the next 5 years, Miss Marie. I want to do it, get it over with, and be done with it. Okay. So I can enjoy myself. I do not want to drag out that aggravation of trying to hold a business together. Your input?
Yeah, I totally agree. It creates an opportunity to make some lifestyle choices.
That's right.
People get into this business typically for one of 3 things. They want the increased income, and it becomes a very lucrative side hustle once you hit that 10,000 group volume mark. Some people are looking for time freedom. So they really are looking to move away from maybe their day-to-day job. And this is the point in time where they can actually start thinking about that, because the income being generated from that 10,000 group volume creates that opportunity to say, hey, look, this is really working and I could focus on this, let the day job go if that's the goal, and make this my primary quote unquote job, make it your full-time business, which may not gain you the exact time freedom you're looking for at that point in time, because it's still going to require a lot of work to get you to that, what Rob likes to call the coconut drinking on the beach money level. That true time freedom is. But what you do gain at that point, if you do choose to let your job go, is you get a whole lot more time flexibility. You can work your business around your schedule. You can make it to the kids' little league game. You can go to your doctor's appointment. You know, you can take a day or two off and, you know, take your spouse on a little surprise overnight trip. You know, you don't want to go and be gone for like a month because that will kill your business from a momentum perspective.
Oh, gosh, yes.
But you can gain a whole lot more time flexibility than you've had before. Your hours, your day is not being dictated by someone else. You get to pick and choose.
That's right.
You know, Monday you may work a typical 8-hour business day. And on Tuesday, you've got a dentist appointment at 10 o'clock that ends up being a 90-minute root canal or something. I don't know. But God forbid. Sorry, that came to mind. That's one of the things I was looking at.
That's a pretty drastic example.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's got like a little tinge in their mouth now.
Yeah.
Right? Sorry about that. Nobody likes those types of things. But you have the ability to work the couple hours in the morning, go take care of the appointment. If you're not feeling well, you don't work that afternoon. Maybe you work a couple hours in the evening, or you don't work again until the next day. You have that flexibility without somebody looking over your shoulder and going, up, you know, you don't have any more vacation time. Up, you know, you were gone longer than that hour you were supposed to be gone for lunch, and that sort of nonsense. So, you know, the increased income, the time freedom, and then that lifestyle change. And if you're looking for that lifestyle change, that big money, maybe you keep your job a little bit longer while you continue to build your business so that you can have that increased income, that increased cushion before you actually choose to leave your job. But it affords you choices that you didn't have before.
That's right. And exactly right. And once again, guys, you have to understand, look, when you're at this threshold, when you have the 10,000 group volume, I want you guys to understand, because I did not understand it in the beginning. No one really took the time to explain to me, guys, this could be a once in a lifetime situation. Miss Marina, I always talk about, you know, in the 80s, and I hate to keep bringing up the 80s because I know you guys really don't care, right? We got to have a barometer somehow, okay? And as we stated many times, and you guys that have followed us, you know that we have talked about this. Guys, in the 80s, you could go from one company to another and pretty much catch lightning in a bottle multiple times. In today's network marketing environment, that is not the case. That was the golden age of network marketing, where you had all these legendary companies growing exponentially at the same time. So we were having a ball. We could go from one company to the other and pretty much just pick up like we didn't miss a beat, okay? We didn't realize at the time that that was a special moment in the industry. But now as we look back, we realized how fortunate we were to grow up in there in that time frame. Meaning this, if you get to the 10,000 group volume level and you don't take it serious in making that decision, you may never reach that point again. If you let the momentum fall back, if you try to go to another company, there is no guarantee. We're not trying to scare you. We don't care what you do. It's your business. It's your life. You do what you want. But we're not being totally honest, and we're not being professional if we don't tell you that it is a great risk. I would venture to say, I cannot speak for Miss Marie. I can for myself. If I was to go back in the industry today and I was able to create the momentum to get myself to that 10,000 group volume, which I confidently feel that I could, I'm not sure that I would leave that company unless there was something drastic going on, because I understand, number one, at my age, number two, the condition of the industry at this moment, and the fact that people today are more cynical than ever, and people are having a hard time reading a sentence in a book because their attention span is so short. I understand all these other dynamics that are affecting the industry. I'm not sure, Miss Marie, that I would leave. If I got it to that point, I think I would run it into the ground as far as I could and make as much money as I could before I made any drastic adjustments or changes, because I'm not sure that I could find it again, to be honest with you, Miss Marie, because there's too many dynamics that go on into the success, the catching in, the product, the comp plan, the leadership. We talk about that. All that has to be in place, and it all comes together magically to where that exponential growth can happen. Excuse me. So with that being said, guys, you've got to take this threshold moment as seriously as possible and make a decision. If you decide to run with it, go gangbusters. Now, That brings me up to the last thing so we can finish this off. We're talking about, if you look at the title, sponsoring 100 people, it's not just, the fact that you have help in getting that 100 people. Remember, there you are in the number one spot. There's your, in red, your 3 people that help you develop the people that you see in this diagram. That is a team effort. Now, we also talked about, we opened this episode, about other people that are sponsored over 100 people, 200 people, 300 people. I've known people to do that. And I mean, in one fell swoop, nonstop. How they did that, I don't know how they held together a family life, kept their health together. If you ever tried that, you'll know what I'm talking about. But if you break it up like anything else, you eat an elephant a bite at a time. And cliche, but it's true. Here's the thing. Most people do this business in 4 different phases, okay? And it's easier that way on you physically, mentally, spiritually, everything else. It doesn't really tax your health. What you do is you do phase 1, your initial 90-day mini blast. Phase 2 is finding and working with your leaders. Phase 3, if you so choose, is your second 90-day mini blast. Well, I'm always using examples because I think it's a realistic example of sponsoring 60 people in 90 days. Okay. Even if you fall short, have a goal. Okay. Let's say that I'm fortunate to sponsor 60 people. And in phase 3, my second 90-day mini blast, let's say I have the same goal because I had such good luck with it. I could actually raise that 60 to 70 or 80, whatever, because I'm really good at the music to the ears message now. I have confidence, my posture, blah, blah, blah. But let's just stay with 60. Okay. And let's say I did sponsor 60 in my phase 1 90-day mini blast. All right. That's 120 people. Now I've really got the numbers of network marketing working for me. As we stated, there's a lot of variables that have to take place. Comp plan, because certain comp plans, you sponsor anything above 75 people and you're wasting your time. Some comp plans, you sponsor any more than 101 people, you're wasting your time. That's for you to determine. We're using this purely as an example. But most of the comp plans I was with, there's only a couple that I couldn't, would allow me to sponsor pretty much over 100 people if I so choose. That's the reason why some of these people did 200-300 people. And you say, why in the world would somebody do that? Guys, do you realize what kind of life and money you can make if the comp plan supports it? If you did that, they wanted to get it done and out of the way, Miss Marie. They were willing to put the work in. They didn't care what it took. They were going to fly and sponsor as many people. And Miss Marie, they wanted to do that 1 year. Their first year was all about recruiting. And it was really, Miss Marie, the approach was throw it against the wall and see what sticks. It wasn't really the 4 phases we're talking about, because the industry matured and people figured out how to make it work right, more efficiently, more effectively, et cetera, et cetera. But they said, hey, I understand the numbers. I got to work the numbers. And they just went out, Miss Marie, and they went bonkers. And they had huge businesses. Why? Because the numbers never lie. Okay. The other example we give all the time, and I'm not stealing your thunder here, Miss Marie, I'm going to shut up when we can get off here. Richard Call. He only did 3 months? We think maybe 6. I'm pretty sure it was only 3 months. But Miss Marie, he worked literally 18, 20 hours a day. He put the numbers in a short 3-month span, but he put this much hours in a day. And that compounding of him putting those hours in each and every day allowed him to shorten his success cycle down to 3 months. And we all know the story. If you guys don't know who Richard Call is, go and do research. You'll see amazing story, amazing guy, amazing results. He's a prime example of what you can do in 3 months if you put the effort in. Right, Miss Marie?
Oh, absolutely. And that is something to keep in mind as well. People who are able to put in longer hours during that 90-day mini blast, they're going to generate that much more momentum. Those who have a full-time job, other family responsibilities, who may only be able to put in a couple hours a day towards their network marketing business for those 90 days are not going to see that same level of momentum. But it is the consistency that is the key, and focusing and using the time that you have, whether it's 2 hours or 8 hours, to truly focus on those correct business building activities and do the business building activities, not the administrivia stuff, not the looking in the back office type things. We're talking
Yes.
actual recruiting activities. That's
Right.
what you want to focus on during that 90-day mini blast.
Yep. And the reason we give you both examples, look, our 4-phase business building process is what most people do. It's a proven system. It allows you to keep your stress level down as much as possible. It allows you to have a life. In other words, have balance. Allows you to be with the family, to do things with the family and still build your business in an effective manner. You have the Richard Call approach, which is flat out, I'm not sleeping, I'm not eating, I'm doing 20 hours and I'm getting my butt out there and I'm going to make this happen. Okay, you have that approach as well. The thing is that you have a situation where you'll have people that'll take longer, grinders, if you will. I can't imagine that working in today's environment. In other words, people will take 6-8 months just to accomplish a little bit. You know, there's all different ways to do it. I think that ours is by far the best because it allows you to have a life, allows you to keep your health for the most part. It gives you solid results in a timely manner that reinforces the positivity that you're experiencing when you have success. And that's all you can ask for from a system, right, Ms. Marie? It's methodical. And you know, believe me, in our system, you can have explosive growth. There's no reason that you can't do something special in 6 months. Okay, I wouldn't say on a Richard Call level, but you could. Okay, but the thing is, here's the thing: it's not just for you guys. This thing is duplicatable for anybody, meaning that you'll have more people creating more volume on a consistent basis than you will with just about any other business building system out there. Because we have the system that we have focuses people on the right things they need to be focused on to create volume and growth. So there you go. So there's the power of the number 100. How you do it, we gave you that. Okay. You make sure that people are doing auto ship 100 PV per month at least. Okay. Why do you want to do it? Because it's going to put you in a position where you can make more money than you ever thought possible. And additionally, it's going to put you in a position where you're going to have to make a decision. Do I go full time and live a wonderful life, or do I try to maintain my job and do this business at the same time? What could drive you nuts, to be honest with you? I'll be honest, because I've done it. I mean, it's hard. I was in the military. I didn't have a choice. I wasn't going to quit the military. Okay. The bottom line is that it was tough. And Miss Marie, I'm sure you're going to attest to it because I know you had multiple things on your platter at the same time.
Yep.
At one time. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But this is why we talk about the target of having 100 people in your business, and the fact that it's not just you sponsoring those 100 people, it's the business builders within your organization creating that volume so that you can start building towards the success, not just for yourself, but also helping your leaders to build that same success level. You all want to be following that same success path, the 5 simple steps, and you want to be duplicating that effort throughout your organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's one key term that Miss Marie said earlier, and that is, guys, it is teamwork. Period. All right. There's the 5 simple steps she's talking about. There they are. And that will lead to this. No ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, we both experience, it happens every day. It's happening right now while we're on this podcast. It's happening throughout the world in 100-something countries, 24 hours a day, literally. And there's people making fortunes all the time. And that is no joke. That's what keeps people going, Miss Marie. They see those living examples of people making it. That's what keeps the industry going. That's the reason why they have those events and take people across the stage. That's the reason why they give out pin levels. That's the reason why they give out bonus checks, right? Mm-hmm. So people can see, oh my gosh, it's working. I know Marie. I started the same time she did. Look at her. She's up there getting a new pin rank and a bonus check. My gosh, if she can do it, I can do it too. See? And so there you go. You know, living example that it does work. It happens every day. All right, guys. With that being said, we've come to a close. Miss Marie, you got anything to say?
I do not. I'm looking forward to our show tomorrow, Tuesday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We are talking about how to gain traction in your business. I like to call it putting your business in traction.
Yeah, I know. I saw that title.
Sounds a little different, which is a little more confusing. Maybe it's like, what is that? Because when you hear about putting someone in traction, you think about them stretched out in a hospital bed or something like that. But this is actually the traction that you like to have your vehicle to have when you're in snow. You want to get a grip and get moving forward.
That's right.
So we'll be doing that tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to join us live right here on the MLM Solution.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Miss Marie. All right, guys, real quick, if you will, please share, like, comment on our various social media platforms. If you will, when you go to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and share our YouTube channel with our fellow network marketers across the globe. And please register for notifications. Hit the little bell twice. That way you get notified when we go live and when we upload new content. Plus, give us a thumbs up. We always like that. We appreciate it. We've been getting a lot of those, and we're very grateful. Please continue to give us the thumbs up if you like what you hear and you understand the points we're making. We love that immediate feedback. And don't forget, themlmsolution.net, themlmsolution.net, and hashtag #TheMLMSolution. As she said, tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to gain traction in your business. Today's subject will lead into tomorrow's subject. The 100 plays a vital role in you gaining traction. You do not want to miss how to make that happen in your business. So with that being said, Miss Maria, I think we're pretty much done, don't you think?
I think so. I'll look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow morning.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. We'll see you. Be safe. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, themlmsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.